we have got 4 of the best players. Nobody snuck into this top 4, okay? These are... I mean, you can make an argument that these are the 4 best players. You really could make that argument, and very few people would be able to argue strongly against you. In our first match, it's going to be Fractal, last month's Mega Masters winner. That won the largest first prize in CTM history and the largest prize pool ever, and in the largest CTM Masters ever, 32 players. So Fractal, a 2-time CTM winner, going up against Pixel Andy, one of the most accomplished classic Tetris players in his own right. Runner-up in 2020 CTWC, a winner of Classic Tetris Monthly, runner-up in the largest and most prestigious ever DAS tournament to date. And so a master of many styles, Pixel Andy, and one of the few players I know that plays in a rocking chair. So that is, let's see if that serves Andy, or at least it looks like a rocking chair to me. I don't know if he's rocking or it's just a big wooden chair that looks very rocking chair-like, but it looks like a rocking chair to me. It's enough intro. Let us go and count it down. Game 1 of semifinal number 1 between Fractal and Pixel Andy. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Valerie is here. Thanks for the tier 1 resub, saying yo. Thanks again, Scott Gray. 10,000 bits. Players are not on same P sets. They both don't have... You need to have the same hardware and software and this whole kind of thing to do same P sets. And if players don't have that, then they're not able to do it. And that's one of the little compromises we have to make to run a worldwide event that happens on the internet. All right, see Fractal clearing up some early garbage on his board using T-spins and various thises or that's. Pixel Andy with a perfect board and a perfect game so far. 3 straight Tetrises to start the game off. And Pumpy Heart with the online facts saying Andy just PB'd in his CTM qualifier for June, reaching an insane 2.1 million points. So Andy fresh off a PB. Fractal looking to build for that second Tetris. There's a long bar and bang Tetris for Fractal. If you want to see Fractal's performance last month and Andy's last month performance last month, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/monthly Tetris. Those are all posted now. So you can see Andy's DAS run and Fractal's winning run here. And, you know, I just spoil it for you, but whatever. It's worth watching, believe me. We got the 3 matches for you tonight. Fractal and Andy, Dog and Huff, and then the winners of each of those matches square off in the finals. And someone's saying Fractal also PB'd during his qualifier. Is that true? For the 1.9? Holy mackerel. Yeah, you're spoiling our online facts. All right, 193 for Andy as he clears off the cover over his right side well, trying to reestablish that well. And Fractal with the Tetris 218. From an 18 start, the speed will increase on level 19 at 130 lines. That will continue for 100 more lines at that speed. Then it will be the second transition at level 29, once thought to be completely unplayable and called the kill screen, but the play in 2022 here in Classic Tetris has rendered that more of a term of endearment, the kill screen for 29, and players are able to go now deep into and past 29, 30, and so on, achieving incredible and yet credible scores this year. 312 for Pixel Andy, 311 for Fractal, separated by about 4 lines, so you know, pretty darn close. There's a Tetris Fractal, 334. And another Tetris Andy, 337. Fractal We'll grab one here. That's right. I find those scores to be, in fact, incredible. It's a real triggering word for me, the word incredible. It's like everywhere. Once you notice that it means nothing and it's pretty much everywhere and everyone uses it all the time, it's like, oh my God, I don't, if I see the word incredible now, I just turn off the internet, close the book, whatever. Done. All right, Pixel Andy getting up a little bit high, having to stash squares over on the left. Having now to take a few burns on the right to bring this down. Meanwhile, Fractal going to Tetris 386. These players are super close, neck and neck, you might say. And there it is, Bank Tetris. Andy 434. 432 for Fractal. Yes, literally unbelievable. And yet somehow I'm believing it. All right, Fractal with a little adjustment there to make room for a kind of flat bottom piece there. A couple of Tetrises in a row, 501. There is one for Andy, 503. So these players neck and neck and knocking on the door of the level 19 transition. Or sorry, actually insane. Yeah, it's not actually insane. That's another example. It's not actually insane. It's quite sane, in fact. All right, another Tetris Fractal, not slowing down at all. And two more Tetrises would give him a 600K transition. Andy, I think, would have to Tetris out from here. And having to take burns, there is a Tetris. And Andy won't quite have a 600K transition. Fractal will, 615 through 128. And 597, close enough for Andy into 19. Fractal into 19 as well, 639, Bang Tetris, Andy. Fractal getting stuff over to the left side, needs something down the right side. Now with that rolling motion is able to get pieces over at a much higher higher height than you would otherwise expect or think from this game. Fractal in a little bit of trouble, so scrambling a little bit here. Andy nice and low on the board. Fractal getting the board down though. Nice long bar for the right side. And we'll open up that left side. And just one piece away from opening up the Tetris well on the right side. Not sure if that J was supposed to go there to the left, but Fractal still scrambling above the next box here on level 21. Andy into the lead, 695 to 661. Fractal open for a Tetris and bang, there it is, out of trouble. And another one, Fractal 718 back into the lead over Pixel Andy. Yeah, the chat, of course, Mr. Valor saying it looks scary, but it's really not, but it really is, but it's really not. All right, there we go. Bang Tetris, Fractal 750. Andy's turn to scramble a little bit. Gonna open up that right side, hope for a quick long bar. And there's long bar for the Tetris. We'll have to do a little bit of cleanup. And no problem here, just a few burn lines. And setting up again for the Tetris, 789. Bang Tetris for Andy, 819. There's one for Fractal, 813. So it is neck and neck the whole way. Players separated by 6,000 points, same level, same line count. Tetris Fractal, 814. 40 more lines to go until the level 29 transition. Bang Tetris Fractal. Got a row of garbage on the bottom to clean up. Would like to do that before heading into 29. And yes, players, viewers noting the difference in the colors, even though they're on the same level, and that just has to do with their capture cards and how they process all that color information and spit it out. I don't pretend to know why it does that, but there you go. Andy open on the right side, but needs something really quick and not going to be able to burn too much. That left side is going to be cut off for Andy. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a piece over, and he will not. And he was ahead when he restarted. I think he was at 938, so we're going to set a target of 939 for Fractal. 933 is what it was. Yeah, we got to not do that in the future. And 935 should do it. Okay, so yeah, it was 933. We're going to call that for Fractal. And Fractal will get the hearts. And I just got to find the hearts on my scene and give it to him. There it is. All right, Fractal was game number 1. No, listen, we're not going to make someone forfeit for that. Sometimes it's reflexive for these guys. Fractal into level 30. Navigating past 29. Going to put on a little bit of a show here while the other player gets ready. Game Scout says Tetris Gym needs a mode where you can't reset. Well, that wouldn't help Andy very much now, would it? I mean, really, that should be in the competition mode where you just can't do it. And where the score stays on the screen. But look, with thousands of dollars on the line, we're not going to go, oh, you forfeit because you did something reflective. It's just not, we're not going to do that. All right, we got it ready for both players. It is game 2. Fractal up 1 game to none over Pixelandy. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Everybody wants to get all, rules. Oh, we need a rule. You can just you can judge things, your best judgments. You need a rule for everything. Fractal, very interesting long bar placement. Didn't really have a great place to put it, and decided to just dead drop it middle of the stack, really. So kind of an interesting setup you don't see every day, but building around it, and no harm, no foul. Bang Tetris for Fractal, 45,000. Andy's going to get his first Tetris, 26,000. And again, if you want to watch this in Spanish, you can go over to twitch.tv/monthly Tetris 2, and later we will be posting that commentary and that whole version of the tournament, although I guess it's not really a version. It's the same tournament. We'll have the same outcome, I promise. You can watch that on our YouTube channel, which is Classic Tetris Monthly en Español. It would be weird, though, if Pixelandy won the Spanish commentary and Fractal won the English commentary. What would we do? I don't know. We'd have to. We don't have a rule about that. I guess we'll have to get a rule made just in case that happens. 144 Fractal, 109 now, 132 for Pixelandy. All right, a little square tuck for Andy. Bang Tetris Fractal, 171. There's one for Andy now, 177. So we are neck and neck, separated by just a few lines and a few thousand points. Yeah, there's a online fact for you. It was CTWC veteran Joshua Tolles, who was the one who created the Game Genie code for uncapping the score. There, you throw that in your online facts database. Pumpy heart. All right, Tetris Andy 272. There's one Fractal 266. No surprise, these players are very close throughout the entire game and match. Once you get to the end of a tournament like this, a pro level tournament, skill levels run very close together. You do not see huge disparities in skill, especially nowadays. Maybe back in the day, back in 2018, early 2019, somebody, trounced the entire field. First ever CTM back in December 2017 was all 3-0 sweeps from Harry Hung. swept everyone. But nobody was good back then, pretty much except Jonas and Harry and a couple other people. 342 Fractal, 345 Pixel Andy. Andy's going to avoid taking that burn for the double, make room for that long bar, and get a couple Tetrises in a row. 390 for Andy, 365 for Fractal. Andy having to make a few gaps, clearing him away, no problem. Might have to do it again. All right, good piece here for Andy to clean up and finally bang long bar and Tetris for Pixel Andy. 442 for him, 395 for Fractal. And we'll clear away the cover over the well. Yes, Pumpy Heart saying thank you to Rubik's Cubie and Almighty Pags for contributions to our Matcherino prize pool. This is the prize pool is crowdsourced, and you are the crowd, and you are the source of the funds. So thanks to Rubik's Cubie and Almighty Pags for direct contributions. Straight cash, homie. And the prize pool stands currently at something. What is it at? $2178.63, $2,178.63. That's a lot of money for teenagers to play Nintendo. All right, Andy is into 19. He's at 604. Fractal 2 lines away from level 19. He's at 479. Bang Tetris for Andy. And there's one for Fractal into 19 at 503. Z Spin for Fractal, and then a Tetris 527. Let's see, Andy trying to avoid taking multi-line clears. Like to burn away singles only if you can. And avoid burning altogether. For the most part. You know, now that post-kill screen is playable, it's now more viable, tournament viable, to take some more conservative lines and take a few more burns, because you can, in theory, make up some of the pace that you lose post 29. Not a guarantee, but it's there. So, you know, kind of preservation of your board and your presence in the tournament becomes a little more valuable in those cases. So you can see it does lead to kind of a tempering of aggression a little bit compared to when 29 was still mostly unplayable. So players adapting their strategies and their tactics as the game matures. 838 here for Andy, 680 now, 709 for Fractal. And Andy's going to score a Tetris, so is Fractal. So just trading Tetrises back and forth with Andy with about 150,000 point lead. Ian Kanetsu says, why are these semifinals a lot more entertaining than the NBA semifinals? As somebody who is, you know, putatively a Celtics fan, I guess I'm supposed to disagree, but I haven't followed basketball in a lot of years. So, I don't know. I don't feel right rooting for the home team, but I will privately. 930 Fractal here on 26. Max out here for Andy on 27. All right, Andy with a tough left side to deal with. We'll see how he deals with it. And looks like it's not going to be that problematic. We'll clear open the right side. Bang Tetris. Good recovery from Andy going to 28. A52. Fractal just a couple thousand points shy of the max out here on 27. All right, Bang Tetris for Andy, A88. The A stands for 1,000,000 points. There's one for Fractal, A40. Andy into 29 at B24, a 1.1 going into 29. You see this, the speed has increased considerably. And it implies a completely different way of stacking, and it's very quick. So Fractal with the B21, B55 for Andy. The name of the game, try to survive, take Tetrises when you can. Some players have developed an ability to just go right on stacking for Tetrises. But you do got to bring the stack down a little bit just to make sure your left side doesn't become inhospitable to Tetrises. And that left side wasn't for Fractal. That was a Tetris. B75 for Fractal. There will be no more speed increases at this point. This is the speed that will be played until everyone tops out. B87 for Andy. Into the lead, Fractal with a Tetris C19 here on level 32. Fractal trying to get clean again, and will do so. Both players clean. C37 for Andy into the lead again. Both players on level 33. Andy into 34 at C45. There's a triple for Andy. C56. Fractal is clean. He's trying to build toward a Tetris. Andy nice and clean. C69. Fractal C62. Trying to build toward a Tetris. Trying not to overcommit. And that is the one thing that gets these players. They start to overcommit to the Tetris, and then that's it. So you got to be able to duck in and duck out. C85 for Pixel Andy. C82 for Fractal. There's a double for Andy. C96. Fractal bringing the stack down. Andy trying to build for that Tetris, but has to take it down immediately, and will start building up for it again. D14 for Andy. That is a 1.3 million. Fractal with a Tetris D50. And we are on kind of a world record territory here. Andy maybe a little bit overcommitting. Gonna have to bring this down. That left side. He gets the long bar? Yes, he gets the long bar over. D30. There's a Tetris for Fractal with the 1.4. Andy with the D92. And this is just going on forever. These players are masters of Tetris here in the kill screen. 1.429 for Fractal. Andy with the E08. And you've seen in the past Fractal able to really outlast just anybody, but Pixel Andy not giving anything up. He PB'd earlier today with a 1.9. So Fractal is, Andy is primed and ready to continue this as long as it takes. E57, Andy still in the lead. E81. Whoever loses will have set a world record for the highest losing score, but I don't know when that's going to happen. This is like extra innings. And there's a Tetris for Fractal, F24, into the lead over Pixel Andy. Fractal ahead by 30,000 points. This was unthinkable a year ago. Fractal going for that Tetris, not going to be able to get it. He set up and he gets a Tetris, F78, and Fractal's board is in trouble. Fractal is not going to be able to survive it. Andy is going to take game two with an F85, a 1.589. Fractal will top out with a 1.549, a world record for Pixel Andy, the highest score, the highest opposing score ever beaten. The first time a 1.5 was needed to vanquish an opponent right here. You saw, and there is a Tetris for Andy. If he wants to mullen it out and keep going, go ahead. The score has turned over. Much like a pinball machine, the score will turn over. Andy going now for the Tetris and will get it. He's got the 1.75. And another Tetris. Oh my word. You guys are going to have to keep the score for me. That is a 1.8. And Andy just going for it, setting up for Tetris. There's another Tetris. I think that is that a 1.9? Where are we at here? I don't even know how to count the score on this ROM. I don't know how to do it. Andy's trying to bring this down. Thank you for the clickbait title, guys. And Andy is bringing this down and just going forever. Now we're at 1.9. Andy had what, a 2.1 earlier? There's a Tetris for Andy. And this is when you want to see the mullet. And Andy's just he's in another world right now. He's just in a completely different headspace. He's got the 2 million points. Any line cappers? $2 million. 5 extra million tacked onto the end of a competitive game. So it's at Bros Gaming. That's right. He is gaming right now. Oh my word. There is Andy disappointed having to take that triple. And Andy could just go forever. I don't even know how to count the score at this point. Somebody's keeping track. I have no idea. Oh, and Andy's going to bring down that triple. I wonder if he can burn this down. This would be crazy. Oh, no. Oh, my word. And there it is. What was the final score on that? I don't even know how to count the score, but certainly a PB for Pixel Andy. Was that a PB? 2.19 million. 2,191,752 from a level 18 start. GG's. Fractal can do nothing but appreciate what that was, but maybe more relevant to our tournament, the first time in competitive Classic Tetris history that a player had to get a 1.5 million to win. And of course, the inverse of that, the first time getting a 1.5 million and losing. So a record-setting performance here from Pixel Andy with the highest score ever beaten in Classic Tetris competitive history, and a $500 contribution to the prize pool from Scott Gray 76. Thank you so much, Scott Gray 76, for the contribution to the prize pool. We are up to 2,678. All right, let's give these players a moment here. Andy, shall be satisfied with the $500 contribution. Thank you so much. Shall be satisfied for the contribution to our Matcherino prize pool. That's going to bring us up to $3,100 and $31.78 and 63 cents. We are just a couple $100 away from beating our March prize pool. And yeah, that is a heart for Andy. All right, we got a ready from Fractal and a ready from Pixel Andy. Let's go. Game 3, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Thanks again, Shall Be Satisfied and Scott Gray, each for your $500 contributions just now to the prize pool. And of course, your contributions throughout the last several months supporting us here at Classic Tetris Monthly and these players and all that. A little bit of a stream problem here. Apologies, everybody. Pumpy, you may want to go grab the VODs from these players. And yeah, Huff and Dog have fallen asleep. Yeah, Pumpy missed the prize pool. You know, this was only supposed to be a $500 prize pool every month, but they won't let us do it. Thanks so much, Valerie, for the 200 bits. Excuse me. Still getting over the COVID. I thought I'd be done in like 5 days because I've got a great immune system, but it really is not great right now. All right, Fractal trying to bring this down. He's going to get that Z over to the left. Finally, long bar with an open well. And Bang Tetris, Fractal 76,153 for Pixelandy. And another one for each. About 76,000 points in front for Pixelandy. Fractal having to work around that little Z spire. No problem. Oh, we're going to get demonetized because I said that I had... Oh, no. All right, Bang Tetris for Andy, 290 for Andy, halfway to the 19 transition. Level 18 looks so slow, but it is definitely not without its challenges. It is not trivial, level 18, to just get a high score. You can see Fractal up high on the board here. Trying to find something for the right side. We'll take another burn. Long bar will help. Finally clean on the right. And looking for that long bar. Bang Tetris for Fractal, 206. And another one, 231. 360 for Andy, ahead by 129,000 points. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Pumpy can remove the word from the audio now that we are recording separately. $300K for Fractal, 430 for Pixelandy. And I'm not sure what Fractal is doing there. All right, I won't say it anymore. But why would they would just, even if you just said the word, like I was sick with this disease, they would demonetize you? I'm not spreading any facts or anti-facts about it. Just saying that I had it. Saying my experience. All right, 487 Pixelandy, 350 for Fractal. All right, Fractal's board a bit complicated. And getting very close to the level 19 transition. So would like to have a workable board once 19 comes around. You certainly don't want to be this high, even for players of this caliber and skill. Fractal appears to be low enough to take care of this, but the wrong run of pieces. He's still very dangerous. All right, dirty Tetris for Fractal that'll help bring it down, and a regular canonical boring old column 10, row 0 Tetris for Fractal to bring this down. 429 here on 2593 for Pixel Andy. Andy 644 ahead by almost 190,000 points. Another for Andy, and now, yeah, about 190,000 points or so. So a big lead for Andy, and he's actually behind in lines by a little bit. There is a Tetris for Fractal. All right, there's a nice J for Fractal to fill in that LJ dependency. And a Tetris. 551 Fractal, 728 for Pixel Andy. Of course, game 3, what was once the best of 5, now in effect the best of 3. World record being set in game 2. And really, that shows you, like any of these games, world record pace. Nope, Andy's going to pass on filling that long bar into that S dependency. And just take the triple and bring the stack down. He's got a comfortable lead. No need to top out early or take any crazy risks. Much better to just, get a good, a decent score going into 29 and take your chances there. Because you can play, in essence, infinitely. No one's really done that so far, although, at this point, you'd have to say it's possible. If that wasn't infinite play, then what else is? Seems like any score is rundownable. Dirty Tetris for Andy, 877. There's the dirty triple for Andy, looking to clear this away. 784 for Fractal, so about 100,000 point lead now for Andy, but back by about 8 lines. The pace considerations will go out the window once they pass 29. All right, Andy setting up for the column 2 Tetris, wants a quick long bar. And there it is. Wasn't too quick, but it came. So Andy, all right, so Fractal into 29 at 877. Left side already with some problems, but gets the long bar over. So 886 are on level 30. Andy into 29 at 975, so relatively low paces at the 29 transition. But again, the name of the game is just, keeping that lead, staying alive, ducking into and out of scoring opportunities. Andy setting up for the Tetris and getting it in column 4. A24 with the max out for Pixel Andy. And yes, as the chat says, here we go again. Centerwell Tetris for Andy, A66. I don't know if my voice can take all the excitement, so. But A76 Andy, 924 Fractal here on 33. Level 34 for Fractal. Andy on level 32 into 33. $1.1 for Pixel Andy. Thanks for the subscription, Stilo SSBM. Fractal's board getting a little bit high. And he's set up for the Tetris, and he'll get it. He's got the max out A20 here on level 36. It's almost silly to call it a max out at this point, but we still do. B41 Andy, A30 for Fractal. He's going to get a Tetris, Fractal, A76. And both players, look at this, cool, calm, and collected. And trying to just, set up favorable situations where if the right pieces come, you can get a Tetris. And then, not hanging on to that too quickly if it doesn't quite go your way. Fractal into level 39. Andy, level 38. The B90 to B30. Andy in the lead by 60,000 points. Tetris is here for Andy, worth about 48,000 points, if I'm not mistaken. Fractal into the lead here on level 41. Andy on level 40. Fractal in the lead by about 25 to 30,000 points. Less than a Tetris. Fractal's board getting up a little bit high. Gonna have to bring this down. I don't think that L landed exactly the way he wanted, but what do I know? I mean, he's making 50 decisions a second. Andy with some cleanup to do. He's got the DO7 into the lead. He must have Tetris. I missed it. And Fractal's board cleaned up. He is Tetris ready. And trying to keep it open and gets the Tetris. D61 back into the lead for Fractal. D26 now for Andy. The lead changing hands. Back and forth, so close. The player that blinks first. That is what it comes down to. D86 Fractal, D41. There's a Tetris for Andy. D95 into the lead for Pixel Andy. Andy bringing his board down. E26. Andy getting up a little bit high, going to bring the rest of his stack down. E48 in the lead by half a Tetris. Now less than that, about a quarter of a Tetris lead. Fractal's board kind of breaking down. Something to the left. What can he get over? I'm not sure. And the answer is nothing. A top out at E47. Andy is going to outlast Fractal. E76 Fractal is on level... is this 27? I'm sorry, 47? Yeah, that was 47, and he's now on level 48, and a top out for Pixel Andy. E93, he will take game 3. He's got the PB here, so no need to continue. So thanks so much, Andy. GG's. Igonzi says, Giga Chad Andy. All right, we got 2 ready players for game 4. Let's go. Fractal up. Andy up 2 games to 1 over Fractal. 3-1 Tetris. I got to read all the names. I mean, I'm not going to not read the names. I got to do it. And, these guys need a rest and they don't even know it. First, Noel says, hello, Vandy. It's nice to see this live. Yeah, welcome, Noel. Noel has been around really as long as anybody in the Classic Tetris community. Kind of an OG. Took part in some of the very early CTMs. Like very early. All right, we are underway. Players making their initial stacks, getting their initial Tetrises early in level 18, game 4. And excuse me, everybody, still getting over an illness that will not be named. I mean, it has a name, but I guess I'm not supposed to use that name. $102 Pixel Andy. Tetris for Fractal 164. Andy will get a Tetris as well. Henry B12 says, I missed early top outs. Now both players here are using the rolling play style. You can see Andy using a glove, Fractal not using a glove. Fractal revealing that he uses a Cetaphil skin lotion. I don't know if this is a moisturizer or what this is, but this is the trick. It'll be a world-class roller. It's either a glove or a lotion. And that's it. Buy the glove, buy the lotion, score 2 million points. It's as easy as that. Yeah, you don't want those dry, cracked, bleeding hands of DAS players. You want the soft, supple hands of the world's best rollers. All right, 285 for Fractal, 224 for Pixel Andy. Tetris for Andy up high on the board. That'll help bring everything down. All right, Fractal try to clear away some garbage. Open for a triple down the left side, so probably no need to go to great pains to keep it open. Would be open, yes, and is open for the Tetris. That's a very helpful Tetris for Fractal. And he's just going to bring the rest of this down. 343 Fractal, 320 for Andy. All right, and he needs something to tuck. We'll spin a Z over into the right side. And a series of spins down the right side to keep it all tidy. And bang, Tetris for Pixel Andy. 346. Fractal still sitting here. 370. Ahead by a Tetris and now ahead by 2 Tetrises. I am very eager to see what will happen, assuming there is an in-person CTWC this year, who will be able to attend and how the field will change and who will make it and what the structure is. No official announcement from CTWC, although there have been, I guess, some leaks and some hints and this and that kind of indicating that it will probably happen. So we will see what the status of all that is, but a lot of people looking for an official announcement so they can make plans. $512 for Pixel Andy, $536 for Fractal. I mean, like, yeah, what if the arena closes at like 8 p.m. and people are sitting here just rolling into level 67 and getting 2 million, and they're like, yeah, this is great, but the arena's gonna close, guys, so I don't know. All right, we're into 19, 588 Fractal, 583 Bank Tetris for Pixel Andy, 608. And Fractal 643 to 21, 634 Pixel Andy. Tetris Andy 662 into the lead on level 21. Fractal still burning a little bit, but low on the board. See if he's going to convert this into a Tetris. No, he's just going to try to burn this away. Andy Tetrising meanwhile, 718 level 22. Only one player in this this 3-game set that we're doing here. Not wearing glasses. That is Dog playing Tetris, who you will see play Hufflepuff at the conclusion of this match. So 3 glasses enjoyers and 1 non-glasses enjoyer. So here we go. Although I think haven't I seen Dog wearing glasses? Have I seen that, or am I just imagining that? $785 Pixel Andy, $764 Fractal. Got a long bar channel there, column 3, and avoiding bringing it down. And there it is, Dirty Tetris Fractal. Pixel Andy's going to get a non-Dirty Tetris, 823 Fractal, 800. Tetris Andy, 863. Fractal setting up long bar column 9, and Tetris 844. Another one, Andy 896. There's one Fractal. So Andy ahead by about a half a Tetris and back by 1 to 8 lines at any given time. Fractal trying to open up this well over here. He's on 28. Andy just a few points away. There's a Tetris. He's got the max out on 28. And low boards. See Fractal just trying to keep his board low and safe and set up a good transition. There's a Tetris into 29. 995 for Fractal. Andy getting up a little bit high on the board. And we'll see what he's going to do here. Yes, he's trying to avoid take the single skim into 29. He's going to get a Tetris, and now he's going to have to bring this down, which he does with a triple all the way to the right. B20 for Andy, A09 for Fractal. And here we go again. Post 29 antics. And they play 29 better than I play 19, and better than I play 18. let's call a spade here. B51 Andy, A37 for Fractal. Fractal's board getting a little complicated, and Spirey in the middle. This is going to be really tough to recover for Fractal, and he is not going to recover. An A40 top out for Fractal, and Andy is going to take this one with only a 1.2. So Andy will clinch the victory and the spot in the finals. GG's, a semifinal to remember between Fractal and Andy. So Fractal not going to be able to do a back-to-back, but will walk away with a share of the prize pool, which has, thanks to some contributions, gotten over $3,000 in the prize pool. There you go. I guess we'll watch Andy complete this, although I am sensitive to the fact that we've got Huff and Dog waiting a long time. So, whoops. But we will watch this for a little bit and just see if it goes anywhere, which it probably will. BioSodas802, thanks for the tier 1 resub. And Andy with the E38, working on a back 1.4. And he's got that. E92. And there's a Tetris with the F. Oh my God. Press F in chat to respect Andy. And there it is, a top out for Andy. So the 1.5 for Pixel Andy. What a run for Pixel Andy. GG's to you, Fractal. Sorry you couldn't make it, but I mean, God, think you played your heart out, and you made a little history here as well, and you walked home with a little bit of the prize pool. So, hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.